Welcome, everybody. Welcome to HomeGame 4. Welcome to Patina, this stunning venue out here in the Gyle, which I've already had 62 moans about how hard it was to find. But we have these things in our pockets, and they have these things on them called maps. And if you can't use those today, ladies and gentlemen, well, I'm sorry, there is no hope for you. Listen, I'm going to just insult you for a couple of minutes and then get off, really. That's what's happening today. Before we start properly, I want to thank everybody that's come through from the West. I know there's been some hellish stuff going on there, and not for nice reasons either, and I've heard some stories of incredible efforts people have made to get through here. Obviously, everybody, thank you for your efforts to get here, but particular thanks to those of you that had a horrific journey and are here now. This is a packed room, and there's nothing better if you sit where I sit than to look out and see packed seats. So thank you all so much. The best we can do in recompense is to give you a day to remember, and we're going to do that. We are going to hit lots and lots of the big topics today. My job, well, I'll come and do a session later and some bits and bobs. My job is just to say a welcome. It's a bit of a different one, this one. At any given time today, there are up to 6 experiments running on you, and you don't know it. You don't even know, but if you feel a little bit, that's probably one of the experiments. And the experiments are there to see what can work and what can't when we change some things up from how we normally do these kind of events. And some of those are going to feed into next year's HomeGame 5, and I know it's weird to talk about that already, but that's going to be, we think, the biggest advisor-centric and long-term savings and investment-centric conference in Scotland maybe ever, and that's going to be at Glasgow Science Centre next year. So the travel woes will be for the Edinburghers next year, not for the Ouija's. But you still have to come, because if the Ouija's can get through here, you can get through there. But that's for later on. For now, a packed agenda. We are going to go through into the evening. I hope lots of you will be able to stay for this evening. Rory Bremner will be coming on and doing a session later on. I don't need to tell you how good Rory Bremner is. There'll be drinks and food and music and all kinds of stuff going on, so I hope you can stay with us through the afternoon and for as much as the evening as makes sense to you, especially if you're in the car park. Friends don't let friends drive, right? The rest of my job this morning is really just to do 2 things. The first is to thank sponsors, which I will do again later on, but this is a pretty nice place, and none of that happens without a bit of help. So we are tremendously grateful to all our sponsors, to FNZ in particular, who are our anchor sponsor this year. I know lots of you were sitting around having your sandwiches and all that kind of stuff. And by the way, I ate 2 of those sandwiches, and none of it is on my shirt. And you got to be pretty impressed with that, right? I thought a white shirt was probably a pretty bad idea, but I got away with it. So that's really good. So thank you to those involved. And in your breaks and so on, please go and visit that. You will have noticed that a key part of today is to get you your 10,000 steps in. And I'm looking around, and I think a couple of you could use it, and include myself in that. Obviously, as you come to and fro, you might not always be in the same seats. Those of you at the back, if you're having trouble seeing, there is a solution especially for you, and it is to get a bloody move on and get in here faster. So just try harder, really. So you can do that, but you don't have to sit in the same seats after the breaks and all that kind of stuff. You can do what you like. And my final bit is to introduce the people that will host today for you. I'm incredibly lucky in lots of ways, but one of the ways I'm lucky is that I've got a fabulous team. Sadly, some of them couldn't be here today, and so we've had to make do with what we can get. So I'm going to disappear now, and I would ask you to welcome today's hosts, possibly the South Coast's leading proponent of punk music, Rich Mayer, and a mainstay of TV's Pointless, Mr. Steve Nelson.